Hi, everyone. Um, everybody still hear me? Um, or do we have to do another? Okay, good. Okay, sorry, everyone. Power just went out in our house, and it seems to be back. So, sorry about that. I was just about ready to start. I did everything else, and all of a sudden, the power went out. I'm going. So the power came back on, then I had to wait for everything to reconnect, and hopefully we don't get another one. It's been doing that all day today. Oh, thank you for waiting. Um, I have to have to talk with the spiritual people that say, "Not, don't do that. Too many people waiting." Oh, okay. For those who don't know me, my name's Ken Mason. I'm a psychic medium. I've been doing this for 30 years, so I love doing free reads, and I hope that some of these free reads will help some people. If you're interested in any of our services, just check out our Facebook or website page, whisperingsouls.ca. I don't know if I can put that up in YouTube. I'll have to take a look. Anyway, let's pick somebody. Let's hope the power doesn't go out again. Hey. Let's see here. Let's go from the top again. 30. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi, can you? Yep. Okay, so about Sandy Cordick. Okay, so we're at 8:25. Starting late. Okay, so gonna read it. So the general read I'm kind of feeling for you is when I'm talking to your spirit guide is over the next little while, there's going to be a bit of time that you're going to need to think logically. There's going to be some issues coming up, and there's more of you saying, I can't get emotional involved, or, I can't get angry. I need to bring it back down. Take the 5 minutes, take the deep breaths and say, you know what? I have to be very logical with this so that you're not hurt. Sometimes, when we get angry, we say things that hurt other people and we can't retract. And that's when we always say, I didn't mean to say that, but in the end, we actually probably did. So it's all about, taking the deep breath and saying, hey, you know what? I can't say this out loud. I may feel it, but I got to go out and contain it, at least to get things done moving forward, especially in jobs now. I mean, if it's a relationship, obviously you're going to say what you want to say, but a lot of times we have to control what we're doing. There's certainly going to be a lot of movement for you to Um, anyway, so there's going to be a lot of movement for you to be spending time in the spiritual side, especially in the forest. If you have children, they're going to be more spiritual over the next little while. So it's all about bringing spirituality back and bringing family back. Um, and in the end, everything's going to kind of work out better for you when you kind of focus on the positive and not the negative. So all in all, what I'm just kind of feeling is just a movement for you to uh, just move forward in a direction that's going to be a lot more positive for you, and just feeling good about it. Um, anyway, so that's what I have for you. Okay, I hope that helped you in some way. Somebody from Australia. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's shut this off. Let's just try this. Andrea Reese. So we're at 12:01. Okay, so the first thing I'm kind of seeing is not just even your dad, but I'm also feeling an older or another female that's with him. It probably could be his mother. Um, and it's certainly a feeling from them that, uh, I got a lot of smiles around them. Um, I got a lot of smiles from them saying that, you know, expect a lot of movement forward for you, especially when it comes to acknowledgement from people. I just get the feeling that you might accomplish something soon, or achieve something that people will acknowledge it. So I don't know what this is, but your dad's holding a baby, so maybe somebody is having a child. Um, and he's also showing you that there's other babies that were not born that are hanging around him. So there's a lot of happiness in this family. Um, so you might find it to be one of your kids or whatnot, but it just seems like he's holding his a child and saying this one's coming. Um, he does sit there and watch you. He just wants you to know that he does move things around the house. You may be even feeling him, um, but he likes to spend time with you. He certainly likes to bug you, because I see him sitting beside you on the couch, kind of poking you all the time. So just kind of joking and whatnot. But he always says, like most spirits say, that he visits you when you're asleep, simply because we leave our bodies, and that's the best time for them to visit us. Um, so expect some dreams from there, some warnings, perhaps some dreams, because he's constantly telling you. But he also wants you to know that he's still very much loves you, and is, uh, as the term says, he's going to move heaven and hell to help you in life now. So listen to the thoughts in your mind, listens to the conversations, because that's where he talks. He talks in your voice. That's why we get the aha moments in showers and whatnot. Just simply because they're talking to us and giving us advice. That's why we get, sometimes we think we're geniuses because we come up with ideas and thoughts. Well, maybe we're not quite the ones that come up with those ideas and thoughts. Maybe it's a spirit that's saying, try this. We assume we're the intelligent people. And, as my spirit guide tells me, when I come up with things and I think that I'm, says, oh, geez, that was really smart of me. And all I hear in the back of the head is, oh, you're an idiot. So I'm sure my spirit guide's the only one that calls me. Calls it's probably the only one. I'm probably the only one being called by spirits as the idiot. But hey, I guess I chose them, and this is what he. This is the way we are. We have a very good relationship, by the way. Um, yep. Um, so he just says, don't worry, he's going to be around. So take care of yourself and make sure over the next 3 months you look at your eating schedule. Um, just to make sure that you're eating okay, because there's something that's coming up that you may have to take care of, and nothing major. He's just saying, you just may have to change your eating habit. So he doesn't want to scare you about that. It's just very minor. It's just a change. So anyway, so I'll leave you with that, and I hope in some way or form that made sense to you. So thanks for coming, Andrea. I appreciate it. So Kelly Mitchell. So we're at 1634. Okay, so your grandfather, your dad. To see who's coming in. So your spirit guide is saying that over the next little 6 months or so, expect some conflicts to pop up that they seem to be conflicts that maybe have been going on for a while, then they've kind of subsided, and then they'll come back up over the next little while. So he says, just once you learn that you can stand up and just deal with the conflicts and end it, then it'll come to an end. So the first one that comes up is your grandfather. He just kind of has big smiles on a big smile on his face, and he says every once in a while he comes up and hugs you, and just kind of when he knows you're not doing well. I just see him sitting there and talking to you all the time, especially when you were young, and spending time with you at times throughout your life. And just once he did hear you say goodbye, but he says you have to start looking outside your backyard. You have to look at the world and see where your answers are coming from, because sometimes answers aren't just around you, they're out there, and you may have to search for the answers you're looking for to finally come up with them. Your dad's popped in. I don't know what he's eating, but he's eating something. Anyway, so he wants you to know that he often sits in your bed when you try to sleep. And sometimes when you can't get to sleep, it's because he's annoying you, and sometimes you feel him there, and you're just kind of like, go away, Dad. But he also talks to you on the other side of the world. He takes you on trips and whatnot. And then one of the main things that he wants to do is he wants to guide you in knowledge, and he wants to, like your grandfather said, widen your perception of things, especially when it comes to spirituality, because you got a lot of abilities, and as they come up, you're going to find out that there are things that you have missed. There are things that you didn't want to do, but now realize that there are perhaps things you should do to learn things. I'm bad about that. Everybody says, well, you should try it at least once. And yeah, that is true. And then, at least you try it once, and then you can make your decision back then. And after that, I'm a fussy eater, so sometimes I just don't even want to try it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should try it. But you know what? Sometimes you learn, and sometimes you just don't want to. Speaking of vegetables, anyway. Anyway, so your father's just kind of grinning. He says, "You know what? Just don't tell the other people that that you're my favorite because you are, but just don't tell the other people that, because then it just might upset people. And then he's got a big grin on his face and winks at you. There's lots of challenges ahead for you, but a lot of successes as well. And he says, once he says he's always known you to take that challenges with gusto, but he says go to the end and don't think you're actually finished until you've finished it completely. And then you'll find that your happiness at that point. Anyway, so that's all I have for you. Thanks for coming, Kelly, and I hope this made some form of sense to you. Yes, Mary, they are getting stronger. Once as I tell everybody, we all have these abilities, but they don't progress until we actually practice them. And we have to sit down and practice. And either you have to believe in the fact that you are going to be wrong and you're not going to be successful unless you fail. Because the more you practice, the less you're going to be wrong. And then that'll give you the confidence. And then as you move forward, but always remember, there's always going to be a point when you're learning and working with this stuff that you are going to fail, but fail teaches you success. That's why we have to fail. So good on you and keep practicing. Okay. So, and Matthew Owens. So we're at 2234. Okay, so okay, so first one I'm kind of hearing is from probably your grandfather. It's a male that's kind of lifting one of his eyebrows at you. So the first thing he's kind of saying is, I don't know if he's good with money, but he just wants to talk about money right now. And he's saying over the next little while that you're going to be moving forward in either in a career or what you're doing, and you're going to have success with money. I don't know if you have a business on your own or whatnot, but he says that the money's going to grow. But his warning to you is don't spend what is new. It says take what is new and put it away so that you're still living the same lifestyle, but you're putting stuff away from the future. Because if you spend what you get new, then you'll never get further in life by overspending. Because there's just going to be time. He says, I don't know why, but he's kind of showing me. I don't know why he shows me this, but it's almost like building things around where you're living, or perhaps moving into a new house, or. But I just see things being built. Maybe renovations or whatnot, and he says it's going to take some money, but he says take time to watch what your money is and make sure that you don't overspend, and maybe that's what he's trying to refer to. But I do see things being built around you, so I'm not quite sure in what preference that is. In other words, I just see your living environment's changing in the sense of perhaps new place to live, or changing where you're living. On the other side, he also says your grandmother's saying that you're going to be moving forward in a very happy mood. and certainly, working with your spirituality. So spirituality is not just about reading people or giving people information. It's all about, allowing yourself to receive information and being able to help yourself by opening up and listening to what is around you. It's kind of like the other read where it says, you got to look outside, you have to look outside your backyard, because what you see outside your backyard allows you to connect more to your spirituality, which gives you more clarity and be able to say, aha, when these, information comes in. So I just feel that what they're saying is that there's a lot more information coming in for you, that you're just going to have to pay attention and perhaps, look at it and say, perhaps this is why I'm not happy where I am, because I'm doing something I really don't like. And it maybe it'll kind of give you that guidance to say, well, find what you do like. And so your grandmother also says, don't eat so many sugary stuff, she says, because, it's just going to make you fat. And they come up with these things, and it's not like a criticism. She's just saying, cut back on the sweets. And she also says when you eat too much sweets, it closes down your communication abilities. You have a very high level of spiritual abilities. So take time to be by yourself and listen, and then you'll get the answers to what you're looking for. Says she remembers tying your shoes when you were young. So she just says, make sure you tie your shoes now. I'm not sure if it's you, because I see somebody who has shoes that are not tied. So it just says, make sure the shoes are tied. Anyway. So that's all I have for you. I hope that helps you in some way. So take care. Thank you for coming. Okay, so okay, so Lori Littleton. Sorry, Laura Littleton. So 2803. So generate. So I'm talking to your spirit guide. There's going to be a fairly major decision coming up for you, probably in the next 6 months. And it's going to be a kind of decision of where you're headed in your life, and whether you're happy or not. I kind of feel that, it's like you're coming to a crossroads where you're just going to say, do I go right? Do I left? Go straight? And it's really a time for you to just kind of sit back and say, and just find that path. Women work 4.5 times more than men do, and we're all, women are always so busy dealing with other people that they don't really even take time to consider themselves. So this is kind of a message for you to sit back and say, and just find, hey, where am I headed? Take time to actually heal yourself. Tell people to say, I need this hour to myself, or I need this to myself. So it's going to be a bit of a time for you for reflection and knowing, how you're going to move forward in life, and how you're going to, where you're going to be when you're 90 years old. And if you have kids, which kids am I going to have, or where am I going to live with? Because I just see the tag of, 4 kids around you, but that doesn't mean you're going to have kids. It just means that if you don't have all 4, then you're going to have a couple or one or whatever kids following you in the spiritual side. You're also going to find you have an emotional victory coming up as well. So things that have been hanging or been bringing you down in your emotional or happiness will suddenly release, and you'll be happy again. And wanting to, see people or enjoy life. Um, just don't overspend. Um, look at the ones and twosies that you're spending and whatnot. You might find that money is going to be a little tight because you'll have to spend money on something, but that doesn't mean that your money will end. It just means you got to put money out. And the warning I get from a gentleman that's kind of talking to you from the spiritual side is keep money for yourself. You don't have to give money out to people. You earned it. Keep it. Um, and even with kids, kind of limit to how much you give them, because you have to know how much you're going to have for the food on your table. Um, Besides, he says, you had a lot of spiritual people in the house. There's 8 people, 8 spiritual spirits in your house watching over you. Which is why every once in a while, if you do get sad or whatnot, then all of a sudden you get jokes or whatnot, then all of a sudden you're happy again. Just because they lift up your livelihood and just try to make you happy. There isn't any spirit that wants anybody to be depressed, though. They do their best to make sure everybody's on some kind of level keel when it comes to emotions. It just depends if we listen or not. So I think beyond that, I just kind of see that you're going to be lifting a bit off that, a bit more of a clarity of mind, and just as you make these changes, and everything kind of falls into place, because then you'll have clarity. You'll know who to talk to, who not to talk to, who to get rid of, who not to get rid of. And even if you're working, you'll find there are things at work that perhaps you don't like anymore. So you're going to change this, change that, or perhaps even get a different job. Even if you're retired, you may even find a creative aspect that's going to make you want to do things or want to wake up happy, or look forward to something. So anyway, so that's the messages I get from the spirits around you. Hopefully that'll help you in some way or form. So take care, and thank you for coming in. Hide. So for any of you guys that are coming next Wednesday, it's a contest day, so we'll be giving away a free read to somebody. So all you have to do is share the event and whatnot, and everybody gets thrown into a bucket, and we pull somebody's name, and they get a free read from me. So that's coming up next Wednesday. It might be the 5th or 4th. Anyway, it'll be advertised. Yeah, just lose everybody. For some reason, my computer is really slow, so hopefully I'm not like disappearing on you type of thing. This is crazy. I am so sorry. My computer here is just doing a little funny things. I have no idea why, but what's happened is I'm trying to scroll, and then all the requests kind of disappear. I got your name, so there's nothing there for me to see. Then I have to wait because then it pops up again. And okay, so Ricky Boss. Is it Bose? So we're at 35:47. Okay, so your husband or brother. Um, okay, so this is from your husband. Um, I've got three males with me. So there's one, I believe, that says it's your husband. There's one that says your brother, and the other one I'm not quite sure. Could either be a grandfather or an uncle. But anyways, there's three of them in your house. So your husband is saying that he is hanging around the house and he's helping you with the kids. Um, so I don't know how old the kids are, but he's saying that he's talking to them a lot and they know he's there. So he's kind of guiding them and trying to, move them into the directions that he feels that they should be going. And he says sometimes it's kind of against your directions, but that's okay. Um, but the one thing too is for some reason he's saying that make sure all the kids do their teeth because somebody's cheating. Because he's lazy. We refer to he, but anyway, one of your kids are lazy and doing their teeth. He also wants you to know that every once in a while that you might feel the bed move, and that's him crawling to bed with you and having discussions with you before you go to sleep. Your brother wants you to know that he's doing very well and wants you and just let you know that he heard you say goodbye. He knows people are still grieving him, and he's trying to talk to everybody to make sure everybody knows that he's okay. Just would like you to do that. Because he's back to what he used to do. He's very happy. He's got of course, he's got a lot of energy. He just says that he just talks to everybody all the time, and again, I'll just put this up as a joke because it is just a joke. Um, he talks to you when you are relaxed. So if you're sitting outside and you're relaxed, then all of a sudden you have all these conversations, these memories, these aha moments, and that's kind of when he's sitting beside you and talking to you, and just wants you to know that he's doing this to you for you to know he's around. And of course, the most key that we all know is when we suddenly think of somebody for no apparent reason. That's when you know they're around, because we don't think of people out of the blue. We're usually triggered by something, something of a memory, or a song comes on the radio and it's something that you loved or whatnot. And sometimes those songs come on purpose. Anyway. So your husband wants you to know that he takes you out of you guys are traveling at night when you leave your body. And he also does that to all the kids as well. So in the spiritual world, that the entire family's back together. And he also wants you to hear you say goodbye as well. And he knows you miss him. So you don't have to talk through somebody to get to him. Just talk, and he hears everything you say. It's kind of I know I'm probably talking to him, but it's kind of what I tell people. Um, 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 just slipped my entire mind. What I was going to say. Anyway, so I guess it's gone. It'll come back up if I get it. Um, so, anyways, I hope this helps you in some way. Family's always around. So if you feel them or think they're around, then they probably are. So anyway, take care, and thanks for coming. Bye. Mhm. Okay, Jennifer Murray. So 4134. Okay, so connect to your mother. Um, I'm just waiting for it to come in. I'm talking to your spirit guide, and she is coming in. She's with another older female. It's probably seeing her mother or your grandmother. So they're kind of talking together, and they'll be coming in shortly. So your spirit guide is female. Wants you to know that you're going to be using a lot of your spirituality soon. Certainly, using your spirituality to connect to your past loved ones is something you're very strong at. Um, you know, we all are, right? We're all mediums. We can talk to spirits at any time we want to. We just have to learn how they talk to us and how they talk and how we receive the messages, and that just takes time. Um, anyway, so your mother, um, so your mother's here, and she wants you to know that uh, she wants you to thank you for all those the missing yous and the a lot of the love you're sending her, and she sends you back love, and she says it's just a continuous back and forth. Um, and she also says that since you guys have been together in past lives, that you'll know each other, or you'll see each other again in the next life. So there's really no need to think that you'll never see her again, because you guys will see each other in another life. Plus, you'll see each other when you cross over. Um, but she's also saying that there's she says it's just time for you to not wait on people. Says unless you have to, but there are certain people that are holding you back, and that you need to make that decision whether you move forward or not. Uh, and she says sometimes waiting for certain people is just not worth it, and they're not worth it for you. Um, she just says hint, hint. Anyway, um, she's also helping the rest of the family, because she's still the matriarch, and she wants everybody to know that she can see what they're doing, and they really cannot hide anything from them now. Literally cannot hide anything. So she says it's kind of funny to see how people are trying to uh, hide things and do things that she never knew that people did, including you. So she, no, don't worry, I don't get into any private stuff. Don't worry about it. She just wants you to go out and make sure that you find that time to be happy and to be you, and go back to when you were young, so you can take the mask off you and become the true you. Because she says you get awfully tired when you come home to try and you have to take the mask off. It's a lot easier just to not put the mask on and not have to take it off. It's just less energy. Um, Anyway, so she says that there's 13 family members in the house in spirit. They're all giving you lots of energy and giving you a lot of love and energy. So as you go through issues over the next year or two, they'll be there to give you the energy to deal with. Um, I don't know what she means by this, but she has a child that you know about, that she's holding, that she now has, um, and it's well taken care of. Um, anyway, so that's all I have for her. I hope this helps in some way, and thanks for coming tonight. Okay, so Heather St. Pierre. Mm-hmm. So we're at 4610. Yeah, there must be something in the universe that's kind of changing. The last 2 weeks, it certainly has been a little bit up and down for me, as everybody else has been saying it as well. So hopefully, this transition or whatever you call through the spirituality world is hopefully coming to an end. So so the first two cards are that comes up here is I don't know if somebody's passed recently or within the last 2 or 3 months, but it's just saying that a lot of the grieving you have for the people that have passed recently will start to go away as you're offering new directions to investigate on your own. Um, I'm seeing you spending time in nature. I don't know if you have a dog, but it seems like you're with somebody who has a dog, and it's more connecting to, when you connect to past loved ones, you realize that they're still around. So you have to look at it in a positive way, saying, hey, they're still there. I get to see them again. And just kind of refocus things on, what? It's going to be, they're okay. Now it's time to work on me. And certainly, the work I find is going to be good for you. So, there seems to be a bit of change coming it that way. I don't know why I see this, but I also seeing boxes uh, being filled and locked up. So either you're moving, or perhaps you're making room for somebody to come to live with you. But certainly, this is the kind of change I'm seeing. There's a lot of change coming that's going to be the result of you kind of putting your foot down and saying, you know what, it's my life. I want to deal with my life, and let's make my life move forward and honor the fact that people have passed. They're all okay. I don't have to worry about them. Let's just deal with things. And then you'll find yourself on that new path that's going to make you a lot more confident, a lot more happier. Um, so it's just all about waking up one morning and says, I'm done with this, and just saying, I want to be happy and remove people, find time for yourself, and just, pushing people aside, saying, I want to be happy. Once I'm happy, then I can come back and help you. Anyway, so that's all I have for you, Heather. Hope that makes sense. Thank you for coming. Dum, dum. Okay, so Mystical Keeper. Okay, so let's deal with family members first. Um, so, so I got three spirits that are waiting to talk to you. One is I'm told is a grandmother. One is a dad, and one of them is well, maybe it is your friend. Anyway, because that's another male. But I'm going to keep him aside for now so we can talk to these two people. Um, um, so the first thing I'm kind of getting from your dad is a sense of him. He's giving me a sense that over the next little while that there's going to be changes in your household, or you're going to be moving. I just see some shifting in your living environment, whether you're moving or somebody's moving in or you're getting a dog or something, but there's certainly going to be a lot of changing, a lot of uh, hectic time, if I want to put it that way. Um, but in the end, though, I still see it with kind of like a smile, but you're exhausted. Um, he's also showing me that um, somewhere in the family there's a new child coming. He says it's driving him crazy because it's a very active girl. Um, so he says so that's going to somebody in the family. Um, and he also says that your health needs to be he's saying that, and again, they say this, and then people may think it's serious, but not to them really. So he says there's going to be some little issues here, there, everywhere. Be careful of your ankle because one of them is going to need some, or you're going to hurt one, and it's just going to be one of those things where it might take some time, but you really don't have time to give it. Uh, so it says, just do the best you can and get help with it. So just don't overdo it because then, if you have one less leg, then that's just not going to be good for you. Well, he's kind of laughing at that. So, um, he's also telling me that um, he's also in the car with you. He likes to drive with you. Um, I don't know why he's saying that, but he says just maintain it. So, at least make sure it is maintained. Um, I'm trying to, sorry, it's flipping to the other guy because the other guy is kind of saying that, I guess this is Bill saying, hey, he liked to maintain cars. So maybe this is the connection between the two. I don't know. Anyway, so Bill is saying that, like he's just smiling. He says, I did hear you say goodbye. You don't have to worry about that. Um, he said he was very happy to have you as part of his life, simply because you gave him balance. Um, in a sense of of spiritual connection because the two of you knew each other in the past life. But he just says, the way I guess you guys met was in a way that was supposed to be met, and so he just kind of carried that on and really enjoyed that part of you helping him with issues, and him helping you when he could. Um, he kind of laughs. He says, beware of cakes because you can start eating cake and realize that you've eaten half of it before you even realize that. So you shouldn't be eating so much cake. Um, in other words, he says, like be careful of sugar. And he also wants you to know that your dad's also doing very well. They talk a lot of times, and they deal with a lot of things together, and they deal with you together. So a lot of help with you and everything going on in your life. I don't know if you had an old truck or something, but I just see an old truck being sold. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's somebody else coming in. Anyway, so they both want you to know that they love you and that you are certainly being watched and loved by both of them. So you'll always get loving energy from them. But like most spirits, they say, you got to start getting rid of the negative people that are around you so that you have more clearance and that more clarity so that you can find and enhance your own happiness. Yeah, because they're laughing. They say, hey, by the way, that, because I know you're into paranormal stuff, but they say, that all that paranormal stuff you watching that, you got to realize that they're there doing the paranormal stuff to you. Which is why you may have, creaking stuff or things moving around or whatnot, because they're in there trying to annoy you. Not that they don't like paranormal, it's just they like to scare you. Anyway, so that's all I have for you. Hopefully that made sense in some way. Okay, everyone, that's all I have for you. I hope it makes sense. And remember, next week we're going to have our free draw for a read. So next Wednesday. So just share it, or share the event itself, and we'll put your name into a big bucket and we'll pick one out. So thanks for coming today. Sorry about the delay. Power outages all day long. So I'm glad we made it to the rest of this. So take care, everyone.